want to talk about how to become an individual today, and it's up there with one of the most important things that you'll want to start sniffing around, because being an individual is really, you are separating yourself from the rest, but it's in that separation that you really find the capacity to love and identify and cherish that individual. You can take that negatively and say, oh yeah, but you're separated from the oneness and you're not being part of the community. But I would challenge that thought and be really focused on becoming the individual, because it's that individual that has more power than the herd, than the person that is too afraid to step into their individuality and just go along and try and play it safe. Becoming an individual takes courage, takes strength, and being the individual is even more courageous. Some people don't even discover their individuality, and some people discover it but don't step into it, don't embody it, don't become it. So how do you find it? I've said it before and I'll say it again. You have to wine and dine your individuality, because that's the whole thing, right? If you're an individual, that means that there's this certain criteria, certain characteristics, certain qualities, certain likes and certain dislikes that that individual has. And the only way you discover those dislikes and likes and talents and preferences and characteristics is by experimenting with different things. Try different hobbies, try learning new skills, try integrating with different people. See, becoming an individual's got nothing to do with locking yourself up in a room and figuring it out. You still play the game of integrating with society and meeting new people and learning from new people, because if you're still limited to a certain population of people that you integrate with, you're only going to learn so much about this individual, because you're only going to get mirrored by a certain capacity. That's why traveling is good, because you now have different shades of the mirror that are reflected back to you. And the more people, the more diverse, just the broader range of personalities that you encounter mirror back to you different parts of you that allow you to create a more complex and deeper level of individuality. It's in that process of trying and meeting and conversing and seeing how others behave and what you like about it and what you don't like about it, and also just being to a degree internally judgmental of what you see before you, that helps you create this individuality, right? That's the process. The process is you being exposed to different modalities that allow you to try them for yourself, and you start acting like, I remember when I was in the UK, you're never going to shake this Australian accent, but you definitely start talking the same vernacular as the people you hang around with. So you start making jokes that you wouldn't have normally made, and you start laughing at different things. So that's a whole commonality of becoming this individual, because once I left the UK, it's like what Bruce Lee says: you take what is useful, you discard what is useless, and in essence you make your own. So it's experimenting with new jokes, for example. It's experimenting with new ways of eating and living and just seeing the world. It's in that experiment that you, over time, create an individual that is so picky, and you really have unique and acquired taste. There's nothing wrong with being picky and really unique. It's actually a prerequisite for really becoming an individual, because you've experimented enough to know that you like 2 pinches of salt and, you know, whatever it is, right? Be specific in who you are and what you like and what you dislike. And then you integrate that back into society, but you stay firmly grounded in it. This is the ego's game. You become the ego in its fullest capacity. You get to know your ego, right? It's got its preferences, and you get to know them and you stroke them, but you stay in control. And then when it comes time to when you really feel like you've mastered it and you really know what you like and dislike, you go out in the world and you be that person, and you don't falter. Under any condition, you stay true to what you like and dislike. Now, you still remain humble as part of being a student of life, right? But you stay in firmly in who you are and what you like. Over time it changes, absolutely. But it's in that individuality that you can really start to make some changes in the world.